All right, so now we're going to work on Chapter 1, Exercise 6, the circular spacer. So again, come into a new drawing. Make sure that you are using the imperial drawing template as opposed to the metric drawing template. And as we look at the circular spacer, of course, everything is given off of, and our x0, y0 on any time we have just a circular part is always going to be making the center of the circle at x0, y0. So in this one, we're going to do things a little bit differently. We are going to use some construction lines to create this particular part as well. When we think about the diameter of this. So I'm into my drawing now, so I'm going to go ahead and type in my units so I can set these. So bringing that up, we'll change it to decimal format. And we want this to be a 3-place decimal as opposed to a 10th or 4-place decimal. Object snaps here in this case, we definitely want to be using center because when we go to start to create some of these. And that's pretty much the only one that we'll need. So I'm going to uncheck endpoint. Tracking, we won't need polar tracking. And preferences, well, you can set those to what you want on terms of, I'm going to go ahead and turn on polar tracking here, and we'll click done just to be sure where we're going. Now, my x0, y0 is over there, so I'm going to go ahead and pan this and kind of put that origin point right here in the center of the screen. So I've got my unit set. At this point, I'm also going to enter in, and I talk about creating layers. So when we're going to use some layers here, and this is my layers property, I've got the object layer, which is always going to be at 0. I'm going to go ahead and click the plus right now and create a new layer. So this is going to be a hidden line layer. So I'm basically creating these layers based on the different line types. So that's going to be a hidden line. So now I'm going to click on that hidden line layer. So down here in this layer properties, it lets me know. And rather than a continuous line here, I want this to be a hidden line. So I'm going to select the hidden line. Create another layer now. In this case, we're going to create a center line layer. This is going to be red. So we're going to use red for center lines. Click on your center line. Come back down here to line types. Click center so that those are center lines. Next layer is going to be a dimension line layer. So I can put dimensions on that layer and turn them on and off. We're going to bring this up. This is going to be this light blue or cyan color. So dimension lines, we're going to double check. We want those to be continuous line type. So that's where we're at. Let's click on plus here. So we'll go to construction lines. And this is the last layer that we're going to create. It's construction line layer. That's going to be red as well. And clicking on that, we want to make sure that those are continuous lines too. So let me go ahead and kind of close up that panel so I have a little bit larger view. And the first thing that I'm going to do on this drawing is create those diameter circles. So right now the construction line layer is active, so I don't want to draw on that. So I got to go back in and click on and make the object line layer active. So I'm going to be drawing on this layer. Whichever layer is showing up here, like if this dimension line layer was what was active up here, that would be the layer you're drawing on. So you need to make sure that you are drawing on the right layer that you want. So back to the object lines, I'm going to go right here on my circle tool, and the center of this circle is going to be 0, 0, the origin point, and I'll hit enter. Now, in this case, I can specify the radius, but everything here is given to me in diameter. So I'm going to hit D, enter for the diameter, and that outside diameter is 7 inches. So I'm going to type in 7 and enter. Now, that shrinks way, way down because I'm pretty zoomed out pretty far. So let's just kind of roll your roller bar in your mouse and zoom back in on that so you're bringing it in a little closer. So I'm going to right click, repeat the last command. So I'm coming in. Now I can either type in 0, 0, or because I have object snaps on and now have an object in this circle, I can click on the center of that there too. So again, this is giving me my radius, so I'm going to type in D, enter. So for the diameter of this circle, and the next circle is 2.75 inches diameter. Enter. So right click, repeat the last command back into the center here. So here's my next circle. So taking a look at your print, this is going to be a 2-inch diameter. So I got to go D, enter, and then 2 inches for the diameter and enter. And that gives me those 3 solid object lines for the circles on whatever this spacer is or this hub. Now, notice I also have 3 holes here. If you look at these holes, you know the positional coordinates for one. Which one do you know positional coordinates for? So, well, if you look at, there is a center line, and the dimension on the center line is given to you is at 5-inch diameter. That's what we call a bolt circle. So we know right now, I'm going to go back to my circle command, and we've got a circle here, a circle here, a circle here that are all 3 of those circles lie on what we call that 5-inch diameter bolt circle. And this circle down here is also in line with the y-axis. So because of that, I know that the center point for that circle is going to be half of that bolt circle in the y. So my x here will be 0. I'm going to put in comma, and my y is going to be half of the 5-inch diameter bolt circle, so which will be 2.5. So my y here will be 2.5, not 2.5. It will actually be, let me cancel that out. It'll actually be minus 2.5 because we're going down and it's down here. So click enter. There you go. And now I can kind of decide that's also a 1-inch diameter here. So I'm going to type in D 1 inch and hit enter for that position. Now I'm kind of at a standstill. I don't really know at this point where I know that if I go from the center line of this circle 120 degrees around, I'm going to have another circle there, and another 120 degrees, I'm going to have another circle right there too. But I don't really know what the positional coordinates are. Now, there are other tools that we can use, but for right now, I just want you to understand how we can use some of the layer properties and construction lines and center lines to kind of determine what these points are. So I'm going to go and I'm going to activate my center line layer right now. So my center line layer is activated. And we're going to draw that 5-inch bolt circle on here too. So I'm going to go and create a circle. And I'm going to select the center of this. Now again, the diameter of this is going to be 5. So I'm going to click D for diameter and put 5. So and enter. So there's my center lines on that. And at the same token, I'm going to create some horizontal. I'm going to create those center lines that are on the X and Y axis as well. So I'm going to create a line here. And again, I can use this and go both ways, or I can enter positional coordinate as well. Well, we know that the diameter was 7, so I'm going to, for this vertical line, I'm going to enter the point of 0, comma 4, because I'm going to be 4 inches up in the Y, and hit enter. And then this is going to be an 8-inch line at 90 degrees, and I'm going to hit enter. So I place that. I'm going to right click and confirm to get out of there. Now I'm going to right click, repeat the last command. In this case, now I'm going to be 4, comma 0 for that coordinate point, hit enter, and I'm going to go 180 degrees this way, so I'll be 8 tab 180, enter. to place that one. Right click confirm. And now I can come back in with the lines. I know at this point I can create a line going up this way. We'll do a 4-inch line, tab over. This is going to be 30 degrees. Why 30? Well, 90 degrees plus 30 is 120. So, and I'll hit enter. Right click confirm to get out. Right click repeat to get to the next one. Come back this way now, and I'm going to do the same thing here. So this is going to be a 4-inch line, tab, and in this case now I'm 120 plus 30, so which is 150 degrees, and enter. Right click confirm to get out of it. So there's my center lines. I now know what the intersection point is for those. So let's go back in. We're going to bring in our object line layer. So we're going to go back to drawing on that. Come back to your object snap here. Let's turn on the intersection object snap. Now back to the circle tool. Now at this intersection point, I can click D for diameter of 1 inch. So it places that one, right click, repeat the command, pick up on this intersection point, D, enter, 1 inch. So we've got that taken care of, and now this drawing is complete. One cool thing, coming back over here to the layers, I can turn the center line layer off. So once that's turned off, then I see my complete drawing the way it's intended to be here as well. So that completes this drawing. So let's go up and click Save As. We're going to name this circular spacer. So circular spacer, capital S on that, no space in between circular and spacer, hyphen your first name and your last name. So here, and that's saved. Once it's saved up here, go back to the main AutoCAD page. Can kind of come down to find where that's at. So circular spacer. Oh, it doesn't look like it, but you know the routine. We would click on it and download it to find it. So there we have that drawing. Go ahead and get that uploaded into Canvas as well.